Another day in the USA, just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure. I just want to make enough to pay dividends, then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Houston Texans. Here comes Johnson on the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 20. Yard line. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Smith. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Hey, let's roll. Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up.
On the ground, it's Thompson. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3. 3 down.
Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first. They'll run with Thompson. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Doxson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up. He's mine, he's mine, he's mine. Right here, guys.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Reset, reset, reset. Do jet, do jet. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Richmond, Richmond.
Watson now to throw. And right away, he lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Richmond, Richmond. Come back, come back. Come back, come back.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Into the Redskins. Have it, they do. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball and make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
He's going to get it running right. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
Yellow, yellow. 15, yeah.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Vernon Davis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken a first quarter lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. 2 jet, 2 jet. Richmond, Richmond. Come back, come back.
On first down, it's Watson. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Pernell McPhee in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Watson now on second down. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Richmond. Come back.
Third and long, it's Watson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Liz. Hey, back up. Come on, baby. See what you got.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Smith. Throw left side, complete. That's Richardson. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Out of the gun, Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Liz. Clock.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10. On first down, Irvin got some real estate inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Tyler Irvin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Smith and the Redskins will come up now first and 10. Now Thompson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Black, got it out, feel it. Two jet. Come back.
They start out with a run from Irvin. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Two jet.
The second down carry for Irvin. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Richmond.
To throw is Watson. He's going to float this over the middle deep. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start on the ground with Pirine, and he'll find some space up to about the 25. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Hey, back up.
Now a carry for Pirine. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle made there by Caleb Brantley.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On third down, it's Thompson. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Come back. Tiger.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a 1st down throw. Watson forced out to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Redskins scoop it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Settle down, huh?
Now they try the right side here. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. 20, 10, 5. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 51 yards on the ground. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he slings one that's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
The Redskins on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at a third and goal here.
We got three, fellas, we got 3. Settle down, huh?
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Good team.
After the interception, here's Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Smith. And Reed with it over the middle. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he stopped immediately there. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now.
Come on. Hey, back up. Yellow.
Now it's Smith. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. Third down here.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed as the first half is winding down. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now Lynch. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big-time play there for the Texans. 55 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, here's Lynch on first down. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job. Getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Detroit!
From the gun on third down, it's Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Settle down, huh?
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Smith. A deep ball for Dotson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They go with Irvin to start the drive. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Dumps it off for Irvin. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
On 3rd down, Lynch. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. To throw is Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And now running right through it. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Straight 15. Slot. 15.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Second and 10, Smith again. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Redskins on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 19. Now it's the backup, Hackenberg. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Lynch. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Davis. And an alley to run. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. A first down carry for Davis. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run it again here with Davis. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you it's not very good.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Gone!
Now Hackenberg. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Detroit!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Troy Apke. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's Pirine to begin the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he finds a man with a crossing route. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Watch it now, Barney!
Check!
Watch it now, Barney!
Watch twist!
On 3rd down, Hackenberg. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And now out comes Houston. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
On 3rd down, Lynch. He's letting this one go for Fuller. It got his man complete. A huge play there for Houston. And even 40 yards. In a two-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we were seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Throwing, Lynch, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll run again with Pirine. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Hackenberg. Out to the left here to Reed. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big 30-yard play on third. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Pirine. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, here's Pirine. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Here's Pirine. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a port.